I'm not really talking about Osun really, but this is just, let's say, a random thought in a recap. The on it moment. You are no longer on it when you have him and you accuse him or her of something else. You're no longer on it. On it. That's a mindset. If I was with you, or I am with you, and you think about me in your past, present, and your future, I am on it. This don't have nothing to do with tarot. This is just random. Right? It's random. I was with you. We had a relationship. I dealt with you. But you still think about me past, present, and future. I'm on it. This is what people, you have to think about. It's power in that. It's little things that you're going to do that's going to say, damn, I wish I was with him still. Or I wish I was with him still. That's past. I'm on it. And I'm not even there. This is power. This is magnetism. People resist magnetism, and I'm even guilty of resisting magnetism. I'm definitely guilty of it. But it happens. Let's talk about it. I'm just simply saying it's a regular day. I don't never have to go back to anything in my past or anyone in my past. But he will think of me and she will think of me. That's power. I don't never have to have a physical or sexual transaction with you, but you gonna think about me. That's power. You gonna wonder about me. That's power. It has nothing to do with beauty. It has nothing to do with the way my body is shaped. It has nothing to do with the advances of my body. It has everything to do with my mind. You can have all of these physical features and still cannot penetrate the mind of a man or another woman. So how do you have power? You may penetrate his desires or her desires, but you can't penetrate her mind or his mind. So how do you have power? You don't. Oh, he got money. He got clothes. He got a mansion. He got cars. He got social status. You was only able to penetrate that, but you wasn't able to penetrate his mind. You wasn't, and if you can't penetrate his mind, then you can't penetrate his soul, and so you're not stable in his or her life. It's just that simple. It's always the ones that don't put the effort into trying to penetrate one's mind that grasp and stay within one's mind. That's what I've come to understand and realize. And this is not an age thing. This is an experience thing. I can never know you. I can never meet you. I can never see you. I can never greet you. I can never touch you. But I can still penetrate your mind. This is the power of art. This is the power of music. This is the power of dance. This is the power of creativity. It's endless. It's endless. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, right? There's people in the same actual realm. You're not penetrating their mind. It's physical. It's literal. It's literally physical. Excuse me. It's physical. It's physical. When you're able to deal with this on a spiritual and mental level, that's something different. Totally different. Even when you're dealing with sexual, that's still different from the mental and the physical. People recklessly deal with the sexual, never tapping into the mental and the physical, so that really holds no weight. People who have sex all day, every day, that's all you have. That's just one aspect. But what happens when you have sex on a mental level, on a physical level, on a spiritual level? That's totally different. It's totally different. People don't know how to do that. People don't understand that they are not the same. I'm sexually attracted to you. Great. Wonderful. It's a beautiful thing. Right? You can create a whole human being on a sexual level. When you are able to create a whole human being on a sexual, mental, physical, and spiritual level, that's totally different. That's totally different. And the universe is weird. The universe does weird things. What you take from me, or what you take from others, is only temporary. The universe is going to give it all back. Times 3, times 2. It's going to give it all back. Period. This is what people don't understand. These are the things that take place. And you're going to say, oh, it's a violation. Is it? If I'm not doing witchcraft, if I'm not doing Ifa, if I'm not doing Santeria, if I'm not doing hoodoo, if I'm not doing hoodoo, if I'm not using Christianity, if I'm not using Islam, if I'm not using the Kemetic and Hermetic aspects against you, or for, or to tap into you, then it's natural. These are the things that have to be respected. These are the things that people attack. People attack your natural ability to attract people that are like-minded. The glitch is temporary. So, I was asking my mother, right? I said, hey, what if you're not in a relationship, but you're getting attacked by somebody that's in a relationship spiritually? And she said, hey, you can denounce it and act like it does not exist and get fucked up. Or you can fight back and don't. So I asked her, I said, hey, but if you choose to let the universe handle it? And she said, the universe will still handle it, even though you may get fucked up. Real recognize real. At the end of the day, she said, this is a system of karma. This is a state of karma. I deal with my karma. I have no problem with it. That's power. Power is to acknowledge your karma. A weakness is to act like karma does not exist. This is the problem that I'm having with. This is the problem that I've always had with masculine and feminine energies. I'm not with you. You're with someone else. That other individual feels intimidated, so you're going to spiritually attack me. I'm innocent. So how you going to hold that? How you going to hold that? You going to say, oh, she's cursed, she got gray. Oh, she's cursed, she's smaller than everybody else. Oh, she's cursed, there's a financial struggle. I'm not cursed, I'm dealing with my natural karma. And I'm addressing it. Oh, she lost this. Oh, she lost that. I'm dealing with my natural karma, and because I'm willing to deal with my natural karma, the universe is going to make sure that I'm healthy, wealthy, and live a long life regardless. That's what people have to understand. And so, you know, karma says, oh, you did A, B, C, D, E, F, G, so you deal with your karma, and you come right back up. This is alchemy. It's simple. It's alchemy. Alchemy is about being able to transmute one thing into another. That's alchemy. Transferring, you know, transmuting, like I'm looking at the snow right now. You transmute water into snow and snow into ice. And then it's transmuted into nothing. That's alchemy. People have to look at these things. Magic is everywhere. It's in everything. It's in every religion. It's in every spiritual system. Period. That's alchemy. Alchemy is to understand that even though you feel, the majority feels like they breathe in dry air, but there's water particles in the actual air regardless of the fact. That's the alchemy. Alchemy is to understand that, you know, there's fire, and fire goes from red to yellow to orange, or from red to orange to yellow to blue. But blue is the hottest in it all. That's alchemy. If you get into lava, it gets already ridiculous that it turns black. That's alchemy. Understanding how elements transmute, right? The earth, natural earth, it goes from brown to green, and then it produces. That's earth. It produces trees, it produces fruit, it produces melon, beans, so on and so forth. That's alchemy. Even in relationships, there's alchemy, right? I can never be with you. I can never talk to you. I can cut you off. The universe is gonna bring you right back to me, because that's just alchemy. That's just how it works. It has nothing to do with the physical. The physical is light. The physical is simply, it's light. It's light. It means nothing. That's just, you know, the lower being is going to look at, people got it all misconstrued. They state the higher being is going to look at the physical. No, the physical is physical, health is health, wealth is wealth, and so on and so forth. People walk past people every single day. People walk past people every single day and say, oh, well, he got on a pair of Levi's, you got on a pair of some regular jeans, you got a pair of regular shirt, you got a non-name brand coat, don't even know it's a name brand coat, so on and so forth. Does that mean he's not wealthy? Does it mean he's not healthy? Does it mean she's not wealthy? Does it mean that she's not healthy? It don't. It don't. Wealthy don't look like everything that you see on social media. That's not wealthy. Yeah, you got a Lambo. You have a Lambo. Homes. Wealthy is homes that actually has like 30 shares in Lambo that you just bought. That's wealthy. People have to understand the difference between wealthy and the super wealthy and so on and so forth. The super wealthy, they own things that are tangible. Wealthy, they own a piece of paper and are controlled by it. My vibration, I'm not saying mine, but But the average individual's vibration is determined by how much money they have. Oh, I'm falling apart. I only have $5. Oh, I'm up there right now. I have $1.5 million. And the super wealthy is like, yes, you have $1.5 million because you just bought a Lambo, a Tesla, or a mansion. And I literally own like 5, 10, 20, 30 shares of it. So that's the super wealthy. Outside of that super wealthy, we have to think about wealthy. What is wealthy? If people who state that they are prestige, people who state that they are royalty. If you don't own a crown, then how are you royal? If your crown is borrowed, then how are you royal? If I go out into the jungle right now and go make me a crown, I own it. No one else owns it. Nobody else bought it. I made it. It's mine. I am royal. But because you have a crown with diamonds and pearls and stones and blah, 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 you're borrowing your own. You borrowed the crown. Like, the crown is not even yours in most cases. So you're technically not wealthy. You're technically not royal. It's illusion. My wooden crown with leaves on it has more validity than your crown with diamonds and stones and emeralds and pearls and golds. People have to do research in real life. All of these things have no power. Like, people have to think. I can buy a chain right now for $200,000 and melt it down and find out that it was only $1,500 with a whole bunch of diamond chips in it to find out that diamonds is not valid. The diamonds, they're chips. They're chips of diamonds. They're not whole diamonds. They're chips of diamonds. I'm just saying. Like, these are things that we have to think about. What really has value, what really has validity in reality. What's really valuable? Does money have value? People give money value. We give money value. We give money power. We tell money how much power it has. We tell brands how much power it has. Not the other way around. We have it twaddled. I like name brand stuff. In real life. I like name brand stuff. But does it have value if I don't go get it? Or if there's a whole group of individuals that's like-minded? This is statistics. This is, this is algorithm. This is analytics. This is what's played upon and has kind of draped over into politics and other important things in reality that we deal with. All the way down to our physical features. Our real life. Statistically, if we think perms was in play for a whole couple of decades. I went to sleep and woke up and perms was no longer in play. They lost validity and reality. And so they was not able to create revenue, right? Because we all kind of went natural. We went wigs and braids and other alternatives. And then we had the natural hair wave, which we still have, right? And in that natural hair wave, we had brands that was not properly equipped or educated or knowledgeable on natural hair, so they came out with 7,500 goddamn different aspects of one brand. And now we sitting at the store like, what the hell? Because we sitting here trying to figure out whether y'all 4C hair, 3C hair, 2C hair, 1A hair, and so on and so forth. And now the brand then tried to come out with 25, 65 damn brands or different aspects of the brand. This is how wicked it gets. This is how wicked. That's how crazy it gets. I'm in the bathroom, so excuse me. This is how crazy it gets. We have to think. Now, don't get it twisted. I use brands. There's brands that I like to use. But it does not change the fact that they said, oh my goodness, I cannot brainwash them into using perm, so now I'm going to brainwash them into using our brands and state that they are natural. Hey, Felicia. It is all a money grab, but people have to understand that money has power. Money does not have power without us. Any of these monetary systems, they do not have power without us. People have to remember that money is a piece of paper. It's a literal piece of paper. Parchment paper at that. Can you believe it? Cotton paper at that. Can you believe it? It's a piece of paper. So if we in all systems have dominion over all things, then how could a piece of paper have dominion over us? This is what people have to think. How could $50,000 have dominion over us? How could $100,000 have a dominion over us? How could $150,000 have dominion over us? How could $1 million have dominion over humanity? People have to think about stuff like that. The piece of paper don't care. The piece of paper is not beat. It's a piece of paper. We printed a number on it, and then we as a collective gave it a value. We said, oh, it's $1. It's only worth $1. It's only worth $2. It's only worth $10. It's only worth $5. We gave it value. The system didn't give it value. We gave it value because we believed that it was really $5. It's a piece of paper. It's a literal piece of paper. And so this is what brings us to this concept of being slow and being controlled in real life. Because in real life, none of these things actually exist. They do not exist. Everybody goes outside and sees trees. Everybody interacts with ink. Everybody interacts with numbers, right? Everybody interacts with the color green. So how does it have more power? Green was in existence before the dollar was. Paper, or the ability to create paper, was in existence before the dollar was. These are things that we have to think about. Does the dollar give us power, or do we give the dollar power? If we say that a dollar is no longer a dollar, and we say a dollar is $50, and that's what the hell it is. If we say $50 is $1,000, and that's what the hell it is. If we say $1,000 is $1 billion, and that's what the hell it is. That's mindset, thought, understanding. We give it power. It does not give us power, and when we get that in control, then we're gonna be all right. Yeah, I could drive a Lambo. I like nice cars. We could drive a Lambo. The Lambo puts us in a different status. The Lambo don't put us in a different status because we had to go and buy the Lambo, and we had to use money that did not have that much power to get the Lambo, right? And so the individual that created the Lambo is the super wealthy. The person that has the Lambo is not the super wealthy. The person that's super wealthy has Excedra Lambos because he created the Excedra. He created the Lambos. He has access to create any type of Lambo he wants. You have access to buy any type of Lambo that he provides. That's the difference between being wealthy and super wealthy. This is things that people do not think about. You bought a diamond? Great. You're not the super wealthy. You bought the diamond. The super wealthy is the people who have access to tap in and find out where the diamonds are so that they can sell them to you. That's the super wealthy. You're not super wealthy. And so this is why I don't really push the attention. The super wealthy don't make music videos. The super wealthy, you know, they don't blog. The super wealthy, they get a Lambo, they don't really care. The super wealthy, they own a mansion, but they rent it to you. That's the super wealthy. While they somewhere sitting in a condominium, chilling, spending minimum money. But you just rented their mansion for $2 million. Just to say that you got $2 million. That's the difference between wealthy, super wealthy, and the middle class. The middle class don't never want to leave out the middle class. They want to go to work 9 to 5, and then they die, and then they be, and so on and so forth. And then the wealthy be like, all right, well, I'm going to just buy up everything, and I'm going to present myself as wealthy. While the super wealthy, like, look at these niggas. Look at them. They whole fools out this joint. They whole fools. Home just came over here and bought a mansion. Don't even know he bought it from me. I just made a whole $100,000. I just made $2.5 million. I just made $3.5 million. I'm sitting in a damn condominium somewhere out in the Congo somewhere. They don't even know I even exist. But I just made a nice piece of money off of him. People have to understand how this goes. People have to understand how this actually goes. Even in this country, there's a land grab. I just experienced it, and that didn't even entirely work. Outside of that, it's a mindset and a way of thinking about reality that controls our actual reality. It's a sticky situation. Again, money is a piece of paper. And that's all that it is. It has no power until we give it power. Period. Brands, they have no power until we give it power. Even though I'm guilty of liking certain brands for certain reasons, I'm definitely guilty of it, so I'm not gonna sit here and act all hostility about it. But it has no power. And this is why people in different countries, different diasporas, people of different systems, they be looking at American black people like we retarded. When we're really not, we just not woke. Every time we try to raise our consciousness and wake up, they put something else in place to put us back to sleep. And then we try to wake up again and they try to put us back to sleep. And then we wake up again and they try to put us back to sleep. And all the other coaches is like, well, what the heck? What's wrong with them? Why are they going through all of that? Like, I'm not understanding. Do you not understand that you are of African descent? Do you not understand that you are, of Indian descent? Do you not understand that you are of Asian descent? Do you not understand? Like, how come you don't know? To lose one is to make one lose their ancestors. To not have an understanding of ancestors is to keep you completely lost. They separate you from your language. They separate you from your way of seeing reality. Where money has power over natural resources. Like, I'm still trying to figure out how we buy collard greens. How do we buy spinach? How do we How do we buy that? Oh yes, because a farmer, he works it out and he grows it. He does that with a monetary value, but when we bring imbalance upon the earth, then I'm growing collard greens because I want all to eat. I'm growing spinach because I want all to eat. I grow potatoes because I want all to eat. And in that, they are automatically reimbursed. This is the fear that the system has in real life. This is the fear that the system has. And even in my personal life, you know, there's glitches, topsy-turvies, imbalances, and so forth. The one that admits that has power at the end of the day. There's this concept of, oh, I only can make myself look this way, or it has to look perfect. And in the background, you're not perfect, so that lets you know that we're dealing with illusion at all times. In order to not deal with illusion, right? The illusion of life, the illusion of love, the illusion of emotion, the illusion of mind, the illusion of power. It's all illusion. It's all illusion. Let's think. You have the power to use nuclear weapons against all humanity. Something, somewhere put that in place that gave you the power to use a nuclear weapon against all of humanity. I'm just using this as an example. Alright, so you have access to it. Being a human and being pro-humanity would say, okay, well, I do have access to this. I can use this against humanity, but I'm not. I'm going to take a different route. Ego and power would say use it anyway and take our chances. No, we don't do that. We don't do that because we know that in all reality, we do not have full control over how that works when it's released into the airs or the waters or the fires or whatever the case is. We know we don't do that. We just simply don't do that. It's the same thing. It's continuous. What is the war over? What is these wars over? What is these fights over? Most of the people in this particular turf, they don't even understand. Because the information is being misconstrued. So therefore, you don't really have a full understanding of what the fight is about at the end of the day. Now, you know, we all need to be protected. We all need to feel safe. And there's people that volunteer themselves for that. And in that, they have to sacrifice their human, their consciousness, their emotions. They have to sacrifice that. They have to not care. And that's where it gets mixy. Because when we do that, it lets us know that those same individuals can come in to where we are, have no emotions, no consciousness, no feelings, no right and wrong, and just do you dirty. While those above us pass judgment, right? And say that we are nothing. We don't deserve. We should not be. We are owned. We are property. We are not. And it's proven over and over again. Artificial intelligence wouldn't even exist without the concept of trying to control something or a group of people or concepts or information. It just would not exist. I love technology. Don't get it twisted. I love technology. I love gadgety gadgets and so on and so forth. When these things become something that's put in place so that all can be happy, so that all can be satisfied, so that all can create, then we all going to have balance on the planet. Outside of that, we're not doing that. As long as there's ego behind it and control behind it and deletion behind it and addition behind it, then there's no balance within the universe. The universe doesn't have everything that we have access to, whether it's technology, artificial intelligence, all of those things are available to us because the universe allowed it. When we violate it, we end up in a different situation. Most people walk around all day thinking that they this, they that you control your manipulated technology, manipulate you, visuals manipulate you, audio manipulate you. When you can acknowledge that, then you can control it. Outside of that, you have to think, why does everybody have a weave and then they have the swoop situation going on? Why everybody do that at the same time? Why when one person got breast implants, everybody else wouldn't got breast implants? It's mandatory. Why everybody got ass implants now? Everybody got ass implants is mandatory, and everybody that don't have it is an outcast. Everybody who don't have a weave with the swoop, they're an outcast. Everybody that's not dropping the info, you're a whole outcast. If you don't drop a BMW, you're a whole outcast. If you don't have a certain amount of paper that ends up being you have I got $100 million in cash. It raised my vibration up to whoop. It's a piece of paper. How in the world did the piece of paper have more power than you? How did the piece of paper determine your reality? This is what gets mixy. The piece of paper should not be determining your reality. It just shouldn't. You should feel the same level of love, happiness, contentment, balance with $50 that you feel with $100,000. Why? With $50 you can't buy a car. But if we're thinking about the collective, if we're thinking about the all, if we're thinking about the the betterment of all, then all should have access to a car. All should have access to food. All should have access to clothes. All should have access to technology. That's balance. When we start using these things to determine who's good and who's not, and so on and so forth, not realizing that the universe is going to handle that regardless, then we have a problem. And so this is where the problem lies. When, there's people out here who do not have college degrees. There's people out here who do not have certain certifications that have way more knowledge than those who have a college degree and have certain certifications and diplomas and so on and forth. And they are not acknowledged. This is a problem. We have to think about that. Why? Because we gave the piece of paper more power than we gave the knowledge, and that's a problem. There's people out here that have never been in nursing school that can literally be nurses. There's people out here who've never been in law school who can literally be lawyers. How can knowledge not have more power than a piece of paper? How? You can go out into the world right now, find an individual who has studied law extensively, right? They studied law extensively and can beat hella cases, more cases than an individual that got a certificate, that got a diploma, that graduated, that had. How does that work? And they're not acknowledged. How does that work? By default, they should be able to get that in all reality. Why? Because they want to control. There's a control system in place. I want to control how you get it. Who got it? I want to know your name. I want to know your birthday. I want to know where you live. I want to know what region you're from. I want to know what your ethnicity is. That's the problem. The issue here is I don't have none of these things, but I can still go in court and beat every freaking case that you put before me versus the individual that spent $200 $300,000, $500,000 in law school and can't beat half the fucking cases in the free place. These are things that we have to think about, but they gotta say, oh, it's just nonsense. It's not nonsense. This is real spill. Real spill. It's the underdogs, they always gonna win. The underdogs always win. Right now, it's the underdogs that's wealthy. Now it's time for the underdogs to become super wealthy. And when they become super wealthy, they have to acknowledge that the underdogs have power and come back and get your underdog. Period. That's just common sense. But anyway, it's just a random thought. So I'm going to talk to y'all later. Deuces.